Hey everyone, today I have a video about Windranger mid against Tinker. This is from one of my previous games, by no means a very high MMR game, it's a high ancients. Tinker was fairly good to his bracket. I will say a few things about the matchup before we get started. First thing, this is like a heavy, I feel like this is a Tinker favored matchup at first, due to the laser and the way it works, and obviously you want to shut down the Tinker as much as possible to prevent him from having a free lane. And this game in particular is a game where I pressured the Tinker very hard. I think I crushed the lane, but this is also an interesting game to watch because even though I crushed the lane, or at least so I say, the Tinker recovered very nicely in the jungle due to some nice stacks. And let's see how it works. So in the beginning, nothing interesting. Standard mid matchup, focusing on denies and last hit. I would say that my mindset here is this is a good mindset to have against heroes like Tinker, like Arc Warden, like heroes that have a high late game tempo that are very hard to stop once they get into motion. My mindset was I want to destroy the Tinker in lane. I want to make sure he is devastated. I don't want to just win it. I want to crush his spirit, and this is how you win those matchups, or at least put them on the bad footing to start, and hopefully force them to play a lot more defensive to the later timing and everything. So just to pause, like from the laning phase perspective. 2 waves in, I'm 14-5, the Tinker is 7-1, and he is going for a March build, which is kind of hard to prevent, but this is where you want to be as a Windranger against this matchup. I spot the regen rune due to my ward, take it, abuse another power shot from the full mana regen, and I would just want to point a few things. First of all, regen wise, I've already preemptively bought regen. 2 salves is not standard on mid. To have 1 is nice, to have 2 is already meaning that I'm expecting heavier S. What I want to do is to have no fear running into the March of the Machine and still get the last hits on that situation and denies. Tinker rushed the bottle, not very efficient in terms of mana regen, HP regen, but he's feeling confident that he can still win this matchup, or at least divert to the jungle and abuse the fact that he got it so early to farm faster. I think it kind of cost him. So right off the bat, I see the Tinker is going to stack. I am already aware that it's going to stack. A few things that I didn't manage properly. I should have warded the triangle a bit sooner. I do realize that in this Tinker matchup, I will be forced to buy some wards in order to prevent him from making the crazy stacks, or at least be aware when he does it. I think I did a pretty mediocre job at detecting those moments. And I want to touch this play, by the way. This is a very nice play, and this is how you should force Windranger under tower. So I see here that I have my creeps pushing to his tower. I power shot immediately to try to weaken his creep wave. And while this might seem not optimal, I didn't put the range creep in deny range, so it has no consequences for me. And look what happens as a result. I'm able to quickly kill the wave. I use another power shot to kill the wave. And once I'm in this position, if the shackle shot latched, he would have died here. It didn't latch. But I'm able to force him back and prevent him from getting the range creeps, the creeps, and I have Windrun to disengage from the tower. So basically, by using 2 power shots, preventing the range creep from being deny range and forcing him to run back, I almost killed him. I denied a lot of his hits and last hits, and also one that I didn't deny, I prevented him from getting at least for free. So very, very important to do that when you have an advantage and you have a creep advantage pushing to their tower. From here, we continue with the standard stuff. And this is actually quite nice to see. Until the 6-minute mark, I'm completely dominating. And when Tinker gets his first jungle stack, he's ahead. And not by much, by like 50 gold or something, but this is really interesting to understand. I'll watch from the Tinker perspective and give you the replay analysis from there. But this is just to show you that there is really a lot of viability to Tinker mid with stacks. And even if you win the lane against him, you're still kind of like not winning. And this is something that's very interesting. Heavy emphasis on getting the denying last hits in lane. You can see here that I'm truly focusing on getting as much as I can. And this is the 6 minutes mark, and this is where you want to be in most matchups. On 39-11, the Tinker is 19-2. So very nice heads up laning phase. I get the ward here a bit sloppy at the way I position it, but my thoughts was that he's going to stack this jungle. That was a mistake. He stacked the other jungle. I joined my team to get the most out of the shrine and back to lane. So what is Tinker doing in this matchup? First of all, he's trying to survive and successfully does so. So I brought him low a few times, but he never died. And this is something that, for future reference, I needed to kill him. I had a few opportunities to outplay him a bit more. The fact that I didn't do it means that he got an opportunity to recover easier. Like, he still... Okay, I missed the power spike. I want you to see the last hits before the stacks. So Tinker is 22 with no last hits. He almost died here, but look what he does. And this is, by the way, how he recovers. He went here. He already has stacks pre-configured, pre-done, and then he marches 3 times here. He kills 2 triple stacks. And voila, he's almost fully recovered from a terrible laning phase. He's gonna have, let's say, 9 minutes boots of travel. You don't want this to happen in a Tinker game. And literally, there was not much I could do other than ward properly better on the triangle. Or I did ask my supports to ward the triangle, but this is something that if no one is doing for you and you're winning the lane, it's okay to lose 1 creep wave and ward his jungle. Just think about the situation if I, prior to him taking this stack, known. Worst case, I go there, I power shot from this angle, I get a few last hits, that's nice. I stand close to XP range and I prevent him from getting XP, that's also nice. Or I contest with my team heavily and then he's pressured. I want you to see this situation, which has kind of shocked me. I'm 51-15. He's 39-2. 17 of these creeps are jungle, and he has a level advantage. And I denied a lot of range hits. A lot of range creeps were denied. This is really astonishing. I'm really thinking this needs to be nerfed somehow. You cannot lose the lane this heavily and still come out ahead. Very interesting. Once I kind of solidify my gain on the laning stage, my next thought process is kill the tower. Obviously, Tinker without a tower is one less position he can TP to. It creates a lot of pressure on the map. And let's see how fast I got it. So Tinker is still doing Tinker things. I'm doing my things. Timing wise, I'm gonna have good timing on a lot of my items. But I want to see how it plays out. So I want to kill his tower. In order to kill his tower, every time I have vision, I'm going to poke it. So I see the Tinker is pushing to another lane. I saw Omni was committed. And this is how you should push with Windranger. Get the creeps low enough so you can power shot the entire wave. And this is me trying to chip his tower. This is the problem with Tinker once he has boots of travel and he can just come in and out of lane. A fight here, nothing special. This is where I had a bit of a waste of time. I think that joining this fight kind of prevented us from taking this tower easily, but you learn something every day. So the tower is down at 11 minutes 40. CS wise, Tinker is now ahead in a bit because of the neutrals. I'm by no means having a bad game, but this is like where you need to assess the situation. If you would be like, yeah, I crushed the lane, and this is what I felt during the game, then you're not learning something very important. Crushing the lane and not contesting Tinker jungle farm is the same as losing. Why is that? Let's check the net worth. Net worth wise, Tinker is 100 gold ahead of me. Let's check the levels. He's level 10. I'm level 10, but a bit below him. And look at the kill participation. It's not because he was very active on the map. Tinker has 0, 0, 0, and I have a kill even. So even having a fantastic start will not give you an easy win against Tinker. And this is something that needs to be stressed. When we play in a Tinker matchup, the jungle needs to be warded. The stacks needs to be contested. If you do not contest the stack, even crushing lane will bring you a defeat in the laning phase. Overall, net worth wise, if we take a look at the entire team, we're basically having two cores. We lost the laning phase, or at least we're not winning it. Tinker has the same amount of farm, a bit more, and my Slark is 50 gold ahead from the Juggernaut. It is a win because Slark laning phase is dog shit, but by no means are we having an easy game.